Do you believe in the existence of other worlds? Japan is a land where the world of the living and the world beyond coexist. Gateways to other realms are found everywhere, but without knowing the signs that point them out, one would think of them as nothing more than old-fashioned designs. For example, the torii gates seen all over towns. They are barriers that separate this world from sacred space. Boundaries with the sacred are so common that they can even be found tucked between private homes or within the grounds of residential apartment buildings. Jizo has its origins in Buddhism, but in Japan, it is especially beloved as a protector of villages and children. Jizo statues standing by the roadside have long been objects of prayer for guiding travelers, ensuring traffic safety, and wishing for children's healthy growth and safe childbirth. Their role is to prevent calamities from entering from the outside and to protect travelers. Dosojin are ancient Japanese road deities placed at village entrances or at crossroads. Their forms vary by region. Statues of a male and female deity standing together, stone monuments, or even uncarved natural stones. While they can resemble Jizo, Dosojin are originally Shinto deities, guardians of boundaries, and differ in that they strongly serve as spiritual barriers protecting the village. There are also places across Japan that are considered realms humans should not enter lightly. The reasons vary. Sacred areas where deities are believed to dwell, ancient burial mounds, the roots of sacred trees or sites of frequent accidents, but all are regarded as liminal or forbidden spaces. This is a bamboo grove said to be a place where once you enter you can never return. It is also well known as a kinsakuchi, a forbidden area. Surrounding the bamboo grove is a barrier known as tamagaki, a spherical boundary that separates this world from the sacred realm. Shide are Shinto ritual objects made of white paper folded into lightning-like shapes, and they are attached to sacred ropes, shimenawa, altars, or sacred trees. Their design represents lightning that purifies defilement. Shide serve as markers indicating the presence of divine spirits and symbolize a sacred boundary. The white color of the paper represents purity and signifies the power to repel impurity. In this way, such symbols can be found everywhere throughout towns, revealing how the Japanese people have, since ancient times, lived side by side with an unseen world. This place is known as one of the foremost gathering sites of spirits in the greater Tokyo metropolitan area. Along the long stone staircase, layers of fallen leaves have accumulated, giving a clear sense of how few people visit today. About this small hill, the following legend is told. In the year 770, a high-ranking monk named Myogan from Mount Daisen in Hoki province fervently wished to behold the living Jizo Bodhisattva with his own eyes. Guided by a revelatory dream, he set out for a mountain in Shimotsuke province. There, deep in the mountains, he was welcomed by a monk called Igabo. Myogan witnessed how Igabo tirelessly fulfilled every request of the villagers, devoting himself completely to their needs. One day, when Myogan prayed at the mountain summit, a living Jizo Bodhisattva radiating golden light appeared upon a boat-shaped rock. When Myogan returned the following year, Igabo could no longer be found. Instead, a Jizo statue had been enshrined there, and its face was identical to that of Igabo. At that moment, Myogan realized that Igabo himself had been the living Jizo Bodhisattva. He built a hall on that spot and devoted the rest of his life there to the salvation of all living beings. I deliberately chose not to photograph it, But inside the hall there were countless items of clothing stored away, likely belongings of those who had passed on. Countless Jizo statues stand lined up together. Some of them are missing everything above the neck. Within the temple grounds, countless wooden memorial tablets known as sotoba, Buddhist stupa-shaped markers erected to pray for the repose of the dead, had been placed. It may have just been my imagination, but when I stepped into this area, I felt as if the very quality of the air had changed. Here and there stood Jizo statues. Some of them were even clothed, perhaps in garments that once belonged to the deceased. It is rare to see so many sotoba memorial tablets and Jizo statues gathered in a single place, making the scene feel eerie and unsettling. The words blood pond are written here. In the Japanese view of the afterlife, the blood pond, chi-no-ike, is a hell said to be where women fall as punishment for having defiled the earth with blood from childbirth or menstruation. Jizo is also regarded as a savior who offers salvation to such women. On the reverse side as well, countless weathered sotoba memorial tablets had been left behind. True to its reputation as a place where the spirits of the dead are said to gather, it is a location where one can sense the presence of another world. Let's take a little more time to explore the temple grounds. There was also an impressive 3-storied pagoda. The grounds are quite expansive and full of rises and dips, making it feel almost like a short hike. Perhaps because I visited on a weekday, I didn't encounter a single other person during my time there. In a hall standing just before the main sanctuary, Enma, the king of hell, is enshrined. The image of the afterlife shared by the Japanese people has been shaped through a layering of Buddhist views of hell, ancient concepts of the soul, and folk beliefs passed down over centuries. After death, it is said that the soul arrives at the banks of the Sanzu River, the boundary separating this world from the next. How one crosses the river depends on one's deeds in life. The virtuous cross by a bridge. Those with minor sins wade through shallow water, while those burdened with grave wrongdoing must struggle across a deep and violent current. Waiting for the dead at the river's edge is Datsue-ba. She appears as a terrifying old woman whose role is to strip the dead of their clothing. These garments symbolize one's actions and attachments in life, and their weight and filth reveal the depth of one's sins. Datsue-ba works as a pair with an old man known as Kaneo, who hangs the clothes on a tree called the erioju. The more heavily the branches bend under their weight, the greater the sins the soul is said to bear. Beyond the Sanzu River awaits Enma. Enma is the king of hell and the supreme judge of the dead. In Japan, he has long been portrayed as a fearsome figure, yet also as an intelligent ruler who listens and reasons. Even if one is cast into hell by the judgment of Enma, the king of hell, the possibility of salvation still remains, through memorial rites performed by the bereaved family or through the intervention of Jizo, who may appear to offer deliverance. Even in the modern age, phrases such as, "If you lie, Enma will tear out your tongue," or simple acts like pressing one's hands together before a statue of Jizo continue to endure. not so much as expressions of religious faith, but as forms of cultural memory. When I came down the mountain, the scenery around me looked like this. Next, I headed toward a place I had spotted from the train window on the way here, a view that gave me the feeling of another world. Beyond the railroad crossing, separated by the tracks, there is only a small shrine surrounded on all sides by fields. When the warning sounds announcing an approaching train and the crossing gates come down, the red lights illuminate the torii gate, creating the eerie sensation that an entrance to another world has momentarily become visible. Of course, this is not a tourist destination, so there are no visitors at all. Even just around Tokyo, places like this, boundaries between our world and another, are scattered throughout Japan. Unknown Japan Guide introduces information about Tokyo that you won't find in ordinary guidebooks. It doesn't just list locations, it also explains their cultural background, history, and how to access them from Tokyo's major districts. From places associated with Oni, Kappa, and Tengu, to sites lined with countless torii gates, forbidden zones, a rock said to imprison the nine-tailed fox, and shrines built to pacify the spirits of fallen samurai. Walking the Other World of Tokyo, Japan is available via the link in the description. This guide is perfect not only for those tired of typical Tokyo sightseeing, but also for those who aren't even planning a trip to Tokyo. If you're interested, please check it out.
Japan Bee is a channel that randomly shares information about lesser-known aspects of Japanese culture, spanning across various genres.